Top. So, first and foremost, thank you so much for taking a minute up for the program today. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Joe. It's great to be here.
So, let's begin our journey into your good work by asking you this. 6 years ago, this pandemic was a huge fork in the road for all of us. How did you get through it? How did it change the way that you approach medicine and life today?
Oh my gosh, it changed everything, Joe. I mean, because we had to go virtual. We had a brick and mortar practice with my brother Deepak, the Chari Center of Health for 20 plus years. And so then we had to go virtual. And so what we started doing then is we said, okay, now we need to create webinars. We need to reach all of our patients and their loved ones and share what was going on, so everyone was confused and lonely and isolated. I mean, those were really hard times. And so we said we need to be able to help everyone, but maybe just in a different way. And so that's why we started doing weekly webinars and sometimes even more often than that. And we went virtual. I mean, it changed the whole dynamic of our practice. And then we really said, okay, we need to look even deeper and further at what we can do to build up our immune system, build up our health, and see really what's really important in life. So that it changed the dynamic on so many ways. It made us truly cherish and value being with other people and really how precious that is when we're in isolation and alone. Oh my gosh, it was a really pivotal moment in our life. And there was a silver lining that we were started able to reach more people than from a remote point of view, going virtual. However, yeah, it was tricky times.
I'm all of these memories of the interview I had with your brother are coming back, and the work is amazing. He's amazing. All the results. So I want to know if you were to be put in front of a bunch of kids right now at career day and they wanted to know what you do for a living, what your day job is. How do you explain the good work that you do?
Yes, so I believe in a natural, holistic approach to health. And that's because of, our parents are from India. So my mother raised us with natural remedies, mind body medicine, really looking at natural solutions for healing. And so she was instrumental for everything that I do in my life and will always continue to be. And so that was ingrained in me since I was a kid. And so I said, okay. So mom always would say, if you go into medicine, you can be the bridge between both worlds, help people get off their medication, prevent them from going on it, really address their lifestyle and what's really causing this in the first place, instead of just treating the symptoms. I mean, sometimes, of course, that's needed. But my goal is to help people get off medications, prevent them from getting on it in the first place, and look at their lifestyle. And that's why then I address the physical and my brother addresses the emotional. So we try to cover all bases because when we lost our father when he was just 51 from a massive heart attack, we didn't want this to happen to anybody else. So really, that's how we even started doing what we do, or I should say, the seed was planted when we were teenagers.
So when you were young, what was your dream profession? What was the job that you wanted to be and to do the most?
It's exactly what I'm doing now,
Okay. Okay.
literally.
So I know that your father passing and that was a huge wake up call and your brother talked about it, but earlier on and just in your early part of your life, what were the seeds that were planted? What were the foundational layers of how you decided to get into medicine and live your life this way? How did that happen?
Well, that all happened honestly because of mom, our mom, because she always said there's natural ways of healing. If someone needs medication, of course, but there's always natural ways of healing. And she would bring in healers from India and other countries around the world. So we were exposed to so much who talked about mind body medicine, detoxification, spirituality, all of these things. And I was fascinated, and Deepak was fascinated. We were so fascinated with that. And so it was so ingrained because I was so passionate about hearing their passion and seeing how passionate our mother was about it because she really was a visionary that guided me. And so, with all of that put together, that's really from, I would say, from kindergarten, grade school on, I knew that's what I wanted to do. In fact, it's kind of funny, but when I was in fourth grade, for show and tell, I took in a cookie jar a human brain to to school and talk to them about the brain and everything about it. They're like, "Oh, wow, this is cool." And
Yeah,
so so literally it started from then.
that's amazing. So, has she been your hero? Who's been that real inspirational force for you to not only get into medicine, but to evolve and to grow in this world?
Yes, so definitely mom, without a shadow of a doubt. And she was the most instrumental person in my life. She always had faith in me and my brother Deepak and believed in us, encouraged us, told us to live our dreams, never give up, and don't bother about what other people say. Because after I got my education and did everything, this was back in the 90s. And even when I was going to medical school, I would talk about vitamins and this and that, and they all thought I was like out there. And so even when I started practice, the other doctors didn't understand anything of what I was doing. Now, functional medicine, integrated medicine is like in vogue, but at that time it wasn't. I was like a salmon going upstream. But she always said, always follow your heart, never give up. I believe in you. We all believe in you, and live the life of your dreams and never give up. And so that's why I kept with it. I kept with it. And that's why I'm doing what I love.
So, who do you admire the most in medicine? Do you have a hero? Is there someone that you look up to that maybe you would like to meet and talk to?
Well, actually, one of my first teachers who I did meet and one of my mentors is Dr. Richard Schultz.
Yeah.
And he was in California, Malibu at the time, and opened up his own clinic. And he had his own clinic and then opened up a botanical pharmacy to get the herbs. So he was one of my first teachers. And honestly, he changed my life and probably saved my life because of, all everything that I was taking and the cleansing and really kind of shaped and guided what I'm doing today. And the others, probably well, they passed, long before, so I couldn't meet them. But, some of the Dr. Lee, the founder of Standard Process, he was an absolute genius, a scientist, a nutritionist. I mean, dentist. It's like, what else did he do? And a lot of the early people, I should say, scientists from the early 1900s, like Dr. Royal Rife, and even Tesla came up with some incredible healing devices and frequencies, and so did so many other people. And honestly, if that was allowed to really flourish and continue, I think we'd be seeing a completely different world right now, in terms of medicine, which is it's going to be headed there now. But yeah, they were, and of course, there's a lot of functional medicine doctors now too. So a lot of them, and even those who talk about mind body medicine and things like that. I have so many.
So, we live in a world of medicine right now where big pharma runs a lot. Big corporations kind of corral the way that we think about how we take care of ourselves and how we respond, which is why there's so many pills, so many pharmaceuticals, which is kind of against what you want your patients to be doing. Do you believe that we're going to get to a point where natural remedies, herbal remedies, things that are actually good for us are going to become the standard instead of this kind of synthetic blend of medicine that we get told is the best way?
100%. Absolutely, Joe. That's actually what is so inspiring to me and what makes me so excited is I think that's going to come because the public is going to demand it. Because honestly, a lot of very advanced healing technologies, remedies, and so on has been very suppressed for many, many years. And doctors and scientists who spoke out about it, their lives were in danger. And so that's what's led to really a suppression of what could be the glorious field of medicine. And it will come back to that. There's no question in my mind. I think the public is going to demand it. And I think we're going to see, just like we're seeing with AI everywhere, in the same way, we're going to see, I think, people, scientists, doctors from all over the world suddenly coming out with very advanced technologies and different remedies to really take all of us to the next level in our health. And I think that's the next phase. I have no doubt in my mind that's where everything is going.
Speaking of AI, do you think AI is going to help in this pursuit of like shining a light on what's the best for us? And maybe even medical advances in that realm of natural remedies. Do you think AI is going to be a friend in that realm?
Absolutely. Just as they say with the internet, it's everything is what we focus on, whether it's positive or negative. And that's the same way with AI. And AI will need to be taught a lot of things, but it'll be able to gather so much data at once and take in, we can literally train AI as well with our knowledge base and then what it gathers as well from other sources. So I think it's absolutely going to be an advantage. And people are already doing that already. They're Googling on ChatGPT or Claude, what should I do for this or that? And so it is the way of the future. It's just that we have to use it being mindful and strategic. And that's the only difference.
So, you're in a field, being in medicine, it changes all the time. You got to stay on top of trends. You got to watch what's going on. What is that energy for you to evolve and adapt and to do your job at a high level, take care of your soul every day? What is that energy for you to do this at a high level?
Yeah, so I have to practice what I preach, and I'm a work in progress as well as what I'm telling my patients. But I go back to I'm a simple person. I always go back to the basics of self-care. And even if it's 5 minutes before, I would say, okay, if I don't have a whole entire routine, it's like all or nothing. Now I realize, okay, a 5 minute walk is better than no walk. I always make it a point to energize myself by getting out in the morning with some fresh air and sunshine. And even if it's a 5 minute walk, to do that as I'm doing some relaxing breathing. And also, it's about self love too, because what I tell people is just every morning, look at yourself in the mirror, right into your eyes, hug yourself and tell yourself that you love and accept yourself unconditionally. Because I think we're all too hard on ourselves and beat ourselves up and, blame ourselves for so many things in our lives. And so that's the first steps. And of course, it's not about having a perfect diet, but it's, in general, eating as healthy as we can, drinking water. And I also believe in saying yes to ourselves and saying no to others, which is uncomfortable at first. But I think that gives us energy because if we're always, you know, giving, 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 but not making sure that we're replenishing ourselves, as they say in the airplane, make sure you put on your oxygen mask first. That I think is also very important. And I've seen just simple things like this can be so dramatic because it's so empowering to give back to ourselves and say yes to ourselves and have fun in the process. I would be working, 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 as you were saying, always trying to keep up with the latest things. And so I realized, okay, no, just play some fun YouTube videos, dance, do things that bring joy. And that brings me joy too, researching, but other things too.
So if you ran into somebody that was relatively stubborn and you knew that they would only do a couple of things in like that above 50 range of life, what would be a few things that you would absolutely recommend that somebody does right now to help their health into the future?
Absolutely. I think getting good quality sleep is one of the most important things we can do because if we don't, that affects not only our mood, our energy levels the next day. We're not as productive. Our brain is foggy. We can't focus or concentrate. And also, it affects our hormone levels. Like, especially what they say for men, one of the first things for men to do to balance their testosterone and for women too for hormone balance is getting good sleep. That really helps. And so, but that's tricky. However, what I recommend then is just have taking some magnesium. There's a form called magnesium glycinate is great. And then drinking maybe some chamomile tea, playing nice music, and about half hour to ideally an hour before sleeping, turn off our electronics, our phone, our tablets, our laptops, etc., desktops, and just kind of read a book, which I know sounds so old fashioned, or just rest and do nothing, which I know we feel guilty thinking we have to be productive all the time. So this is something I had to train myself with as well. But when I did this and my quality of sleep improved, it's like our whole outlook the next day completely changes too. So I think getting good quality sleep and another trick and another hack, I should say, to getting good quality sleep, believe it or not, is getting sunshine in the morning. And what I mean by that is just stepping out in the sun. No, don't look at the sun, but just step out into it. You can go for a quick walk, but just letting that sun, those sun rays, which have so many different healing frequencies, you get vitamin D, it's great for the immune system, but it also causes one gland in your brain called the pineal gland to then at night, so 12 hours later, to release melatonin so we get better quality of sleep. So getting sunshine in the morning will help you sleep better at night.
Wow,
So these are just some quick and easy tips to get some better sleep.
for sure. So let me ask you this. Let's say you have a dream tonight, you run into a young version of you, 17, 18 years old, you walk into a room and there's a film projector. You click play and your life comes up on the wall. 60-second highlight reel. Is that young version of you going to believe your life turned out this way?
That young version of me definitely was visualizing my life to be this way, but probably had a lot of doubts, definitely had a lot of doubts. But one thing is, it's again because of my mother's encouragement and support that no matter what, I said, I'm going to do it. And I knew that I would face a lot of obstacles for sure. But that is what got me through it, is just her encouragement and her support and her love. That really helped me. And once something gets in my mind, I'm a very determined person. I'm going to make it happen no matter what, especially if it's something I'm very passionate about. And so that's something I was very passionate about. So what I would say is I wouldn't have even maybe thought it would be at this level, but it would be something along this line. But yeah.
So in that 60-second highlight reel, what are you the happiest about? What are you the proudest of?
Oh, definitely just following my dreams, following my passion. That gives me so much joy because when you're really doing something that you love, it's not work. It's like I get up excited every day thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do next? So it would show me literally, I feel like a kid. So the same it would be the same then as it is now, is just being excited and really motivated and looking forward to what's available.
So let's get to the real marrow in your bones. Everyone has a perception of you, family, friends, patients, clients, everyone that knows you in all these bubbles, but you're the one that's the driving force behind what we know and see. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Oh, well, I've gone through many phases and dark night of the soul too, Joe.
Yeah.
No question about it. So, as much as, and because of my mother's love and encouragement, that really helped me. But inside, deep inside, I was doubting myself for sure, wondering just within me internally, is that, oh, can I do this? Am I smart enough? Am I good enough? There's other people who are much better than me and more popular than me. And so I would be really hard on myself, especially I was in, grade school, junior high, and high school, very much so. And so those are really hard times for me because I didn't have that kind of confidence or faith in myself. I have to say, once I got into college, then I felt like another person. I started making that transition, let's put it that way. But yeah, it wasn't at that time. Yeah, I didn't believe in myself and I was really hard on myself and always compared myself to everybody else.
So if anybody wants to take that next step, get healthier and reach into your sage wisdom and advice and the work that you're doing, how do they do it? How do they get a consultation? How do they hire you? What's the next step?
Yes, so on our website, charicenter.com, as Chari's my last name, CHARICENTER.com, they can go and sign up. I offer a free 15-minute consultation and no obligation where they can share what's been going on and I can share them what I feel may be taking place. And then if they're interested to move further, fine. However, there's no obligation.
So who's the ideal client? Who should be doing this?
So I've been focusing a lot on women over 45 because they go through so many hormone
Mhm.
changes and body changes, and it affects their confidence, affects their relationships, it affects every part of their life, and even affects them moving forward and following their own dreams and being seen and heard. So that's really my drive and motivation. And so I work a lot with women who are going through all these changes, who want to lose weight, be healthier, have more energy, balance their hormones. That is who I've been working with. I love working with men too, but they're usually dragged in by their significant others.
Well, I will make sure to put these links in the show notes. So great to meet you. Thank you so much for your story, your wisdom, the hope that you're putting out in the world. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Joe. It's great to be here.
Yes, it was.